everybody. Welcome to Banquet. I bet you're hungry, hopefully, right? Okay, so it is a buffet style. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring you up in groups, and there are volunteers that have been throughout the session that are going to help those who need assistance to and from. They are willing to help you, so if you need help when it comes for your table, raise your hand, and they'll help you out. So we're going to start with the head table first, and the first tables both on the right and the left-hand side, if I'm doing this right. Then the next group of 4, 2 on each side, and then the next group of 4. So we're in 3 different groups. So what we'll do is we'll have a volunteer come and help let the tables know when to come up. Yeah. I'm going to get this right. Hey, I'm learning, guys, right along with you. So we're going to go ahead before we get the food and everybody starts eating it. We're going to go ahead and our master of ceremonies is long-time serving board member of the Memphis chapter, June Mangum. He's going to entertain us with hopefully some great tunes and some great wisdom and then carry us through the banquet. So, June, it's you.
Thank you very much for your great expectations.
See, I knew that voice would get it. Yeah.
Well, we will, let me just tell you who was at the head table, and then we'll say a prayer before y'all start eating, because we need to bless the food. We got enough sinners and stuff around. We want God. We want God to be good to us. At the head table, to my right, you just heard Christina. Then we have Terry Smith, and John Harris is on the end. Mr. and Mrs. Calloway and President James Brown is on the other side of the table. So we will now have a prayer over our food, and I will ask Reverend Russell Jones to do us the honor of giving us a brief prayer of thanks. Russell Jones.
Now don't move like a turtle either. Because he's hungry. He's going to put a little pepper.
Apparently she doesn't even need a microphone. Just whisper and everybody still hears her.
The microphone is sensitive. No, I'm good. I want him to hear me. He's cool. I get to tease him. Hey, on now.
Hey.
Bless the food well.
Let us bow our heads, please. Eternal and grateful God, we once again thank you for this time of fellowship. And Lord, we ask you right now that you will just bless the food that has been graciously prepared. Please, Lord, let it nourish each and every one of our bodies. And Lord, we thank you once again for a successful convention again. Now, Lord, we thank you. We do it all in your blessed name, the one who died on the rugged cross. We ask it all in his name. Amen.
Amen. Well said, old man. Well said. All right. Thanks, Miss Yolanda. All righty. So, again, we're going to start with the head table and the first 2. So, you guys, their food is around the corner, out the door, apparently.
Out the door?
It's outside from what I hear. Yeah, it's not in this room because I guess it's too small.
Okay, so we're first, getting out?
Yeah, we're first, yeah.
Okay.
What did I do?
Put me at the head table. I need to go first.
Yeah,
I said,
see?
oh, thank you now.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah. The more we can...
I have never been asked to do the Mick pledges before.
With your charisma charm, really?
As the old song says, hello, it's me again. Let me have your attention, please. I know that everybody wants to enjoy the food, but let me have your attention for a while. We have a fine program coming up and some door prizes and all that kind of good stuff. But if anybody has any stub for the Federation Memphis chapter drawing, Christina wants to get those turned in.
Well, we draw. You better get them to me, or somebody not gonna have a ticket in. They're gonna be mad.
Okay. Now, before we start, is that to Evelyn? You gonna take them or Evelyn?
Oh, I'll take them. Everyone's doing
Yeah. So just bring them on to Christina. Anybody has the stubs to turn in. Okay.
How do we get Tim to do? You might tell Tim to cut the music. I don't know if he's realized.
Okay, we're going to get some door prizes and then have someone come up and favor us with her lovely voice. But so we need to get the music turned down, please. Can we get the music? Can we get the music cut? Okay, let me have your attention. Does anybody want a door prize? All right, let's have us a door prize. Okay, can we get rid of the music?
Thank you. Nope. You came close. Why don't they just turn the master volume down?
Because they don't know where it's at.
Oh, no. That's what I'm saying. Whoever.
All right. Let's see, door prize.
The real question is Wendy in here for the door prizes.
Oh, Evelyn's in here too.
Oh, is she?
Can we get a door prize? While we're getting that done, people think that blind folk can't see that well. But you pick up a lot of things that people don't know you do. Like the other day, I was walking down the street, saw a fellow so ugly, it hurt my feelings. Damn near made me cry. I tell you.
Oh, here we go.
I think I better hurry up and give a door prize, Jim.
Well, I'm gonna try again. See, I'm trying to get the good one so I can get the door prize.
Okay. The first one is going to be a 2009 Louis Braille coin, silver dollar. And it goes to, let us see here. Deborah Lewis. Deborah.
Oh, she won again. Oh, no. Good.
Is that Tyler's name?
Huh?
Is that Tyler's name?
And I have another $25 gift card from Logan's, donated by Terry Smith.
It's a roadhouse. It's a restaurant.
I do too.
Steak.
And it goes to
James Brown.
ooh,
No, she can't read his name.
Bessie Tubbs.
All right, Miss Tubbs.
All right, Jim.
All right, we'll have our first bit of entertainment for the evening. If I can have your attention for a minute back over there. I ain't gonna say which corner it is, but
I'm not even.
can we have your attention, please? We are going to get some singing here from a lovely young lady with a fine voice. I've asked her to do us the favor of singing us a song. After that, we will move on and get another person that you know quite well with a very famous name for entertaining. But at this point, let's get a song from Miss Tara Tate.
but like, you gonna do this? And I can't say no. Right.
Good evening, everyone.
Tara. Sang Tara.
It's a good video moment, Mr. Nisha. Facebook moment. Yes. Come on, girl.
So we know that everyone in here have a story. And the title of my song is There's a Story Behind My Praise by Carolyn Trailer. Pray for me as I sing. With an NFB twist. I've never done it before. There's a story behind my praise. That's why I'll continue to praise. I'll praise him for the rest of my days. There is a story behind my praise. If you see me happy, that's because I feel here this way. Mr. Brown.
Yes.
Since I joined the NFB, if you see me shouting, don't be amazed. I get a little excited when I'm around my fellow Federationists. If you see me running with my cane, don't be thinking little strange. For I gained my independence since I've been a part of the NFB. Oh, that's a part of my story behind my praise. If you see me crying, that's a story how God's been there for me in all of his glory. If you see me shouting, don't be amazed, for I realized when and where I was saved. If you see me wanting with my cane again, don't think it's strange, for my whole life, talking about my life, God rearranged. Oh, there's a story. There's a real good story. There's a story about how I was born with no sight. There is a story. The doctors didn't want my mama to see me, y'all. But there's a story. And the eye that I see out of with the little shadows I never had. But there's a story. And I'm so grateful for the NFB. I'm really grateful, y'all. Because I gained my true independence. But there's a story behind my praise.
And you used to not want to sing. Look at you. We don't change you yet. All right.
Praise God.
Your turn.
With preaching and with preaching in heaven on our mind, let me tell you about after a preacher died and went to heaven, he noticed that a New York cab driver had been given a higher place than he had. I don't understand, said the preacher. He was talking to St. Peter. I devoted my entire life to my congregation. Our policy is to reward results, said St. Peter. Now, what happened, Reverend, whenever you gave a sermon? The minister admitted that some went to sleep. Exactly, said St. Peter. And what happened when the people rode in this man's cab? They not only rode in his cab and stayed awake, but they prayed.
That's terrible, Jim, but it's good.
Now,
I hope there's no tomatoes out there.
ladies and gentlemen, I said we had a famous name for entertaining coming up to you. The hardest working president, well, let me be careful how I say that because I'm standing next to Christina. The hardest working state president in the Federation is about to perform for you. Here he is, Mr. James Brown.
You know, it's always a little dangerous to sing a cappella because you got to start in the right place. Somebody asks you, you know, the day of to sing, and you hadn't really practiced or sang the song in 10 years or something like that. But I did sing this song in Louisiana at their banquet last year. So I'll try not to start too high, otherwise I'll have to make some tricky adjustments. When your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet, will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? And darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. You can clap, folks. And baby, my heart could still fall as hard at 23. And I'm talking about people fall in love in mysterious ways. And baby, it's all part of a plan. Me, I fall in love with you every single day. And I just wanna tell you I am. And baby, now take me into your loving arms, yes. Under the light of 1,000 stars, oh baby, take your loving, take your head, put your head on my beating heart. I'll get it right eventually. I'm singing out loud, baby, we found love right where we are. Here we go. 'Cause I've been really trying, baby. Trying to hold back these feelings for so long. And if we feel like I feel, sugar, come on. Woo. Yeah, so come on. Let's get it on. No, baby, baby, baby. Let's get it on. Let's get it on. Ooh, let's get it on.
I wasn't expecting that twist. Good job. It's hard to do that a cappella.
It really is. You hear me change keys?
Yeah.
I just started too
James
high.
Brown, James Brown. I heard a call for encore back there somewhere. Door prize.
Door prizes.
Okay. Since James is feeling lonesome. I have a $25 MasterCard donated from TABM, and it goes to Curtis Tillman.
Again.
Stand up, Curtis.
I deserve my dinner now, Curtis.
Okay, another one. I have a Rhythm of Movement CD from the Federation for Philosophy and Song.
He helped out on the audit committee too, by volunteer.
And $10 donated by the Scenic chapter and National Federation of the Blind lunch bag with some goodies inside. All that. And it goes to
No, you did not. Do we need to do one by like?
Joyce Heron. Uh-oh. She missed out.
She had. She jumped right into registration.
She never complains.
She just got it done. I think that's a good idea.
Anita Henderson.
We got money.
I hope they don't be here when I give away this money.
Give her, it used to be $100, yeah.
Yeah, we'll just give her $100. Tonight we'll just send it to her.
Yeah.
I think that's good.
Yeah, it works for me.
Okay.
I'll go
Rebecca
donate
Leon.
I think it'd be fun.
Okay. All right. You want to give it out?
Stand up, Rebecca, or hold your hand up.
Yeah, we'll do it. We normally.
All right, June.
Okay.
I'll see if
All right. I was glad to see Terry Smith here today. Got a chance to talk with him the first time in a while. But y'all think that Terry is running through young fella. Think I'm about the oldest person around. But you know, Terry is old. I found out the other day that he's actually older than his own birthday. Now that's old for you. We'll get our speaker up here now. In order to get our speaker, and the introduction is going to be done by our chapter president, Christina Cliff.
All right, everybody. So let's see how well I was paying attention during his interview on Friday. So this gentleman named Mr. Sean Calloway, currently the president of the District of Columbia, works with the Administration on Community Living, which is a part of the Health and Human Services Department of the federal government. He's got a lovely wife, Miss Latanya, and he's a proud father of a 2-year-old little girl. Yes, so he's learning. He's going to learn about them girls. But he's going to be worried about the boys when she gets older. Yes, he is. He is a great leader in the Federation. He's on our National Board of Directors. And he is going to be a great speaker tonight. So I'm going to turn it over to Sean Calloway. I could have made it a drier one. That's the most important things, yes.
That's fine. Yeah. Once again, I've been set up. These acts are very tough to follow, but good acts. I tell you, this has been an outstanding convention. First and foremost, on behalf of my wife and I, we want to just thank you for the hospitality, the Southern hospitality that you've given us this weekend. For me, being as she said, national board member and being on different committees, when I go to the national convention, I'm ripping and running. So I don't have a chance to talk to people during the convention. So these state conventions give me an opportunity to meet a lot of people. And I met a lot of good people this weekend, really. Again, James, job well done, my friend. This affiliate is outstanding. And trust me, your handprints are all on it, my friend. And you got some good federationists here, but you lead by example, and they're following your lead, and So obviously you're doing a good job, and I want to commend you for that. Also, I want to thank the host chapter, the Memphis chapter of the National Federation of Blind. And your President Christina Cliff, she's been outstanding this weekend. And like I said before, during the national convention, if that Tennessee hospitality room is anything like this weekend, I am there from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. When it opens and when it closes. Okay. My message for you today is a message of the Federation, a baby, and the civil rights movement. For myself, when I graduated from high school, as I told the leadership participants the other day, I've made a conscious decision that as an athlete, I was a good student, I was a good athlete, but I was a horrible student athlete. So I made the decision just to go to college. So when I left high school, I traveled on down to South Carolina State University. And as you can imagine, attending a historically black college and university, I had a good time. I had a ball. I partied. I did everything that my parents didn't send me there for. But nevertheless, I learned a lot. It transformed me from a boy to a man in less than a year. And I'm grateful to the university for that. Unfortunately, during my second year, while I was in my dorm room, a guy came into my room playing with a gun. And so the gun went off and hit me in the temple, and instantly I became blind, which meant my world had swiftly changed in a matter of seconds. I came home, and because of the accident, I had a lot of medical complications, but also I didn't know it until I went to school and studied psychology that I was suffering from major depression disorder. Very tough time in my life, my family's life, friends' life, and I was carrying a lot on my shoulders. But after 2 years and being an older brother of two siblings who were 10 and 15 years younger than I realized I had to do something. Though I was disabled, blind, whatever you want to call it, I still was an example for them. And, them coming home every day while I'm watching the Jeffersons and Good Times every day, all day, this wasn't a good example. So I was given an opportunity to go off for some training. Now, at the time, I never knew about the Louisiana Center. You're talking about this is 1993 or 94 at the time. So I never knew about the Louisiana Center, the Colorado Centers for the Blind, and Blind Inc., and my counselor never told me about those things. So she said, do you want to go to the Maryland Rehabilitation Center? And so I said, gave it some thought, and I decided, yes, I'll go. Now, it's called the Workforce Technology Center. It's located in Baltimore, Maryland. But I made that conscious decision to go, and when I got there, I was greeted by a blind man named Lou Smith, who eventually became my O&M specialist, my cooking teacher, my Braille teacher. Everything I learned about being blind and having blind skills came from Lou. And I can remember my first day out doing O&M. And he said, Sean, we're going to cross this street. So I said, oh, okay. So I'm just waiting for somebody to come down and assist us to cross this street. So he says, so you ready to go, Sean? I said, yeah, well, where's our assistant? He said, no, we're going to cross this street ourselves. So I'm thinking to myself, am I really going to do this? But I thought about it. I said, well, since I'm on sort of the outside, if a car comes, it'll hit him first, and I'm good. So we go on and cross the street, but I tell you what, it wasn't a long street either, by the way, but it was the most exhilarating feeling a man could have, because it just gave me a jolt of confidence that I was missing for so long. And so at that point, I was just too elated, and elaborate, I tell you, I was ready to go back to college, and that's what I did. But when I finished my training, I had this mentality of, I'm not dealing with no disability groups. I ain't dealing with no blind groups. I just don't want no parts of them. I am blind. You hear me roar, I do it on my own. Okay? So eventually I went back to college, Essex Community College, just outside of Baltimore, got my AA in psychology, and then transferred to the University of Maryland in College Park and got my bachelor's in psychology. But while I was at Maryland, I had my first encounter with a federationist. She came to me and she said, how you doing, sir? I said, I'm doing fine. She said, yeah, I want to invite you to a federation meeting. So I said, okay, well, what is the federation all about? She said, we do things, we have little events, couldn't really explain nothing to me. So I said, well, tell me a little history about, when was the organization founded? Sometime in the 50s, So right there, see, with me, if you don't give me facts, you turn me off the break. That's just me, okay? So then I asked her, okay, so what do you do in the community? We help kids. And so I said, look, man, I got to go. I'll give her some consideration, okay? Because I was just, ran out of patience. So I ran into another guy who's blind on campus. I said, have you heard of this organization called the Federation of the Blind? He said, yeah, man, you don't want to deal with them. They just too wild. They radical. Right? That's what I was told. So I said, okay. So, of course, I followed this man's lead without really investigating it myself. And really, that was the biggest mistake I ever made in my life. One of them, anyway. Not really investigating the Federation and looking into it for myself, because I wish I would have joined in, and you'll see in a few minutes why. As time went on, I noticed that though I had this confidence, especially with orientation and mobility, my AT skills were dwindling badly. As AT was increasing in terms of, with the technology and the different things coming out, I was far behind that, okay? I got to college, working on my master's in 2000 at Catholic University, and I realized I had no AT skills at all. They sent me on my practicum because I was majoring in social work, and I ran into some reasonable accommodation issues. I didn't know where to turn. If I was a federationist, I would have knew where to turn, right? But I had nowhere to turn. The university basically dictated how I was going to graduate, right? And I had to accept the terms that they gave me without any assistance at all. Trust me, if I was a federation at the time, that university would have been put on their butts, okay? But they weren't, and again, I graduated from Catholic with a master's, but it wasn't fulfilling for me because, again, I had people assisting me. I would type something, but, I didn't know the basic functions of spell checking, right? It was that bad. So eventually I graduated, of course, and I went on to work. And my first job with Catholic Charities, I worked as a social worker in a homeless shelter. And everything was going well. I was able to just learn on the go with JAWS and learn how to set up my forms and things like that. But again, it was just pretty basic. But in 2002, I decided to leave. And I interviewed for a job with the Department of Behavioral Health in D.C. And when the person that was interviewing me asked me certain questions, made me feel uneasy. She said, well, how are you going to do this particular task? How are you going to, let me just back up. I was interviewing for a job working with children in D.C. public schools, providing therapy for them and doing psychoeducation. So I said, I got good listening skills and things like that, and I'll adapt. I'll be fine. She said, well, how are you going to do your paperwork? I said, well, just give me a computer with JAWS and speech software. I think I'll be fine. She said, well, this is what we're going to do. We're going to give you an assistant. And she's going to go get your lunch for you, right? And, and if your computer, seems to falter, we'll just have her just assist you, whatever you need to do. Now, even though I felt uneasy, the money was talking, right? So I said, well, do I turn this down? Because I feel like some form of exploitation. I don't know how I was feeling. It just didn't feel right. It was almost like this lady was saying I was too dependent, or I need to be independent on someone else. But I took the money. I took the money. And so, again, if I was a Federationist, trust me, I would have had a more thorough outlook on this particular situation. So I went on and on with this job, and, I actually loved the job, and I had the assistant do what the supervisor told me she was going to do. She was getting my food for lunch, right? When my computer wasn't working, she was doing my paperwork when I was dictating to her, and basically, she became my crutch in all intents and purposes. And so during this time, I did have a light in my life, which is my wife. All right. She came into my life in 2003, and we started dating, and then next thing you know, we got married in 2005. But after we got married in 2005, you know what the questions start coming, right? When you gonna have children, right? Now, when I heard this question, I started getting nervous, right? Because, see, I didn't have the confidence in myself that I would be a good father as a blind parent. And this confidence really weighed heavy on me for years, to the point my wife didn't even know, right? And so in 2009, I had a crossroads. I was doing nothing with my life outside of the home and work. I was bored to death. Wasn't my wife's fault at all. Trust me. A lot of this was my own undoing. I had one blind friend who decided in 1994 he wasn't going back to work. He was going to collect a check, right? And I love him to death. Trust me. Tony knows I love him to death. But he made that decision. He ain't working. So that's the only blind friend I had. So I was sitting in the house, and I got a call from a buddy, and he knew something was wrong. And I began to tell him, look, man, I don't feel fulfilled. I'm not doing much with my life, and all I do is work and come home and may do a few things with the family and the wife, but personally, I'm just not doing anything. So he said, well, do you have any blind friends, Sean? I said, no. Do you know any blind organizations, Sean? I said, well, yeah. It's this organization called the National Federation of the Blind. A woman back in 2000 told me about, but I keep declining to go to the meetings. But I said, you know what? I'm going to go. So I went to my first meeting, and ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, it was like walking into the Twilight Zone. I'm walking. The first person I see is a woman who's blind with her 2 children, like 4 and 5 years old. I go into the room, and I'm sitting down, and I'm listening to these 2 Federationists talk. And they say, yeah, man, we'll exchange emails, and we'll contact. I'm like, email? What? What? And then I run into some folks in there who are working independently with no assistant. So I'm like, hold on now. Really? So at that point, when the meeting started, and I'm sitting around just looking at all these independent people, I couldn't wait till the meeting ended because I was going to join that day, right? And I did. I joined the Federation that day. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen, I hit the ground running with confidence. The first thing I did, I started looking for another job. And quite honestly, and my wife would tell you, when I decided to leave my assistant behind, she was not too happy at all. She wasn't. She was very bitter about it, to be honest. I miss her. She passed away maybe a couple years later, but she was my crutch. She was an enabler. Wasn't helping me none, especially me looking at all these Federationists who were independent and doing things on their own. But then my advocacy skills increased as well, to the point where I joined in 2009. I became president of the Greater Washington, D.C. chapter in 2010. Right? And then they increased even more to the point where in 2011, I became the affiliate president. And then they increased to the point where I became a board member on the national board in 2016. But the biggest highlight of my life was on December 28th, 2014, when my wife and I gave birth to our daughter, right? And that is because of the Federation. Right? Now, people may say, Sean, how could you credit the Federation for you having a child? I mean, it does take two to tango. Right? But let me take you back to 2011. In January 2011, I joined a church called Shiloh Baptist Church, and I got baptized. Right? And so when you get baptized, you get closer to the Lord. And after my wife gave birth to our child, maybe 2 or 3 days later, I prayed. And I asked the Lord, it took us 9 years. Why now? And he spoke to me. He said, Sean, why would I give you a child when you wasn't confident in raising one? Right? He comes when the time is right. And he came and brought us a bundle of joy. Hey. Amen. So the Federation means a lot to me. From a confidence standpoint, they've built it up. To an advocacy standpoint for the things they do. You know, when I got word, as I told you earlier, that I was coming here to Memphis, I was pretty excited. You know, I joke about food and things like that, but, you know, one of the things I really became more nostalgic and sort of kind of sad in a way was when I realized that, and I don't know, sometimes my brain goes far, but this is the place where one of the greatest leaders of all time, in my humble opinion, was shot and killed. And that's Dr. Martin Luther King. And to add to that point, you know, my wife and I, of course, departing tomorrow, and then 2 days later, they'll be observing his death, 49 years. Right? So when I say that the civil rights movement and the Federation movement kind of correlate, it's not I don't think I'm off on that. James and I, matter of fact, have had discussions about that during scholarship meetings, that we humbly believe they kind of are similar in a sense, right? And I told a friend of mine one time this same thing, and he's like, Sean, you crazy. You know, you can't compare the two. You know, that back during the civil rights movement, people were getting bitten by dogs and being water holes and hit with billy clubs. He said, can't compare the two, but in some ways you can't. But we're still being sometimes bitten by the teeth of ignorance because people are not aware of the skills and aptitude of people who are blind. Right? We're still being splashed with water holes of just discrimination and unjust behavior against blind people, especially those who disregard the laws and policies that will enhance the lives of blind people and allow us to live the lives we want. We continue to get hit by those billy clubs of social exclusion when society wants to leave us out. So trust me, yeah, you're right. We didn't experience the painful side of the movement, right? But we got the social scars from the Federation movement, right? When people discriminate against us. And I tell people all the time, you know, all contributions are meaningful, okay? No matter what they are. I ran into a young lady at last year's convention. We talked, and she said, Sean, you know what? All I do is pay my dues. You know, I participate in a few fundraisers. You know, I'm a single mom. I'm working and, like I said, going to school, working part-time. You know, my contributions are meaningless, and that's not true. Any contribution you make is meaningful. Matter of fact, I own Everly Hairston. I'm sure some of y'all know her. Will tell you that during the civil rights movement, there were people who only had time to make picket signs and hold them. There were people who only had time to sit behind a voter registration table. There were people who only had time to take people down to rallying sites There were people who only had time to pay their NAACP dues, right? But they were important to the movement. I love Dr. Martin Luther King, but he couldn't do it on his own, right? He needed those people to keep the movement rolling, right? And I tell people all the time, especially when it's in this federation movement, it doesn't matter if you're a blind person working on a PhD or a blind person working on a GED.
That's right.
We are all in this movement together. It does not matter if you're a blind person with a six-figure salary or a blind person collecting a Social Security check. We're in this movement together. It does not matter if you're a blind person who lives in a fancy suburb or live in some sort of dwelling. We are in this movement together. And dare I say, it does not matter if you're of religious affiliation, your sexual orientation, or race. We are all in this movement together. You know, Dr. King's last speech, which happened to be to 1,300 sanitation workers, if I'm not mistaken, here in Memphis, he talked about the promised land and how we're going to get to the promised land. And he knew something because he said, I might not make it there with you, but we're going to make it to the promised land. Now, in that speech, I couldn't determine the promised land and which would happen when he got there, right? But I interpreted it as this. Basically, when we get to the promised land, there'll be racial equality. And we will not be judged by the color of our skin, but the content of our character. That's what I took it as. But you know what? The Federation is, we have a promised land too. And we're marching towards that. Because, ladies and gentlemen, there'll be a time, trust me, with our advocacy, where we won't have to worry about people with disabilities being paid less than sub-minimum wage. It's going to be eliminated one day. That's our promised land. We're not going to worry about some of our Bell children when they decide to go to college. They're not going to have to worry about inaccessible information and materials on college campuses. That's our promised land. We're not going to have to worry about people being discriminated because they're blind when they're trying to apply for jobs. That's our promised land. More importantly, we're not going to have to worry about people just judging us based on our blindness, and they're going to judge us for our capabilities and not what we can and cannot do. Yeah. That is our promised land. You know. Ladies and gentlemen, look. Repeat after me. Blindness is not the characteristic.
Blindness is not the characteristic
that defines you.
That defines you.
Or your future.
Or your future.
We raise expectations.
We raise expectations
of blind people.
Of blind people.
Because low expectations.
Because low expectations.
Creates obstacles.
Creates obstacles.
Between blind people and their dreams.
Between blind people and their dreams.
You can live the life you want.
You can live the life you want.
Blindness is not what holds you back.
Blindness is not what holds you back.
And trust me, ladies and gentlemen, we good. We're good. Trust me. I'm going to say this, and I've said this to the Colorado affiliate, and I've said this to the Pennsylvania affiliate. Now, James Brown, now I'm not talking about the one to my right. I'm talking about the godfather of soul, James Brown.
Yeah.
Back in the 60s, and some of y'all in this room going to shout when I say it, he had a song in which he said, say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud.
Yes.
Well, guess what Federation is say? We say it loud, I'm blind and I'm proud. Amen?
Amen.
Lastly, and for those of you in here who are spiritual, you can take this to heart. The Federation is an organization that God has made. Therefore, I ask you all to rejoice and be glad in it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much and have a good evening.
Good job, Shell.
We do a whole series of eyes on the prize and disability rights. I hear you.
Is this your phone?
Is that your phone?
Oh,
Oh, here,
I
I'll
left my
pass it.
phone.
Here you go. Right here.
Oh, yeah. I can't use my baby.
I know, right? Yes.
Okay, door prize.
All right. 7 o'clock.
The first one is a mini
Yeah, whenever.
chopper that chops onions, tomatoes,
Oh, you got a garden for it?
fingers, what have you. And a hat, a knitted hat and scarf set. And it goes to Kira McCall.
Not here.
Mr. President, you left
Okay.
You got my door prize?
Yeah.
All right, what about
I left my bag. Hospitality.
Carla Tate Gibson?
Oh, that's Tarzan. She's not here.
What about Evelyn Hogan? Okay, the next one is another hat and scarf set, and $20 donated by the Nashville chapter. Hey, don't lose those. And it goes to Rexy Bowers.
You're welcome.
Okay. One more, June.
Thank you. Thank you.
And it's a $25 gift card to Logan's. And it goes to James Evans.
Oh, he's not here.
Not here?
Somebody's James.
Don't he play on Good Time?
Like 6 of them.
Oh, his name get in there twice. How about Pearl Derryberry?
Oh, Miss Pearl again. She went to the first time.
Did everybody leave?
No.
J.P. Williams?
Nope.
No.
I am. Arita Rios?
No, wait, she's not here?
Rios? Is it who?
Jasmine?
Greg Self, he's here.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
Her mom, I think her mom might have
Thank you. Thank you. Everybody that got a prize here, thank you.
Thank you. There you go.
Okay. Now it's time for a drawing to see who gets the prize from the Memphis chapter of the Federation. If you got your tickets,
Yes, I have a ticket.
$500 is on the line. $500 coming up to somebody.
So for those of you who can't see it, it's a big ice bucket. So they're being shaken. No, I wouldn't.
Want me to look in there for you and see what I
I
can
got
find?
2. So since I can't read them, Miss Latanya,
Yeah.
can we borrow your eyes? Can you pass it down to her? Oh, here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, here we are. Drum roll. Continue the drum roll. It goes to Kay Johnson.
Oh, hell. That's my sister.
Now, what kind of way is that to be? I
Oh,
tell
that
you.
is so wrong. That is so wrong. So close.
You in trouble, girl.
Yeah, my chapter can't hold water. They'll say something.
I think there's a drawing for Oak Ridge chapter. Is Oak Ridge chapter doing?
Knoxville.
Who's from
Volunteer.
Knoxville? Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Somebody gonna win some big money up in
All
here
right,
tonight.
come on, Knoxville, $300.
You don't even have to go down south to the casino. Just win it right here.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to cut all that check for real. Oh, that just hurts my heart.
Sir. Sir. All right.
Now, tell us about this one. What is it? How much is it for?
This is for a total of $350. It's a week of eats, and you get several different cards to restaurants.
Okay, come closer. You just gonna explain it.
I don't have the sheet with me to tell you what all the restaurants are.
Okay, now let me just say what you.
Winner is Donna Brumlow.
Donna Brumlow.
Chattanooga. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, go Donna.
All right.
All right, congratulations to Donna. Anybody that sees her.
We didn't need it.
Okay, we will, at this point, before we get back to door prizes, get the Federations of the Year. And none other than Vice President of the Federation, Mr. Terry Smith, is going to make that presentation for us.
I was just texting Donna to tell her she won. So I did not know I was going to do this. So I'm totally unprepared. I don't think June knew I was going to do this, or he would not have made that crack about me being old because I get a shot at it. No, I'm gonna play nice, so I won't say anything about it because I am. The Federation of the Year is an award that this organization takes great pride in. And for those of you who were participated in the leadership training that we did Thursday and Friday, you learned that leaders come in various forms. And, you know, the leaders are not necessarily those that are out front, those that are getting all the attention. You know, sometimes leaders are those who lead by example and get the work done. And that's what I call this person. Because I always refer to her as a worker bee, because anything needs to be done, she gets it done. This individual is a mother of 4 children. She was a charter member of the Scenic City, Chattanooga National Federation of the Blind. I served as president. She was my right-hand person in helping us get that chapter started and going well. And she's somebody that jumps in when anything needs to be done. When Sharon Treadway had her unfortunate thing happen where she couldn't be here for this conference, she jumped in, took care of the goodie bags and all those bags you got. You know, she helped make that happen. She helped get things going with TABM. She was elected today as the president of TABM. And as a disclaimer, she's not my wife. She's not my girlfriend. She's not my niece. But she is the Federationist of the Year, Melissa Smith.
We'll tell it in a minute.
And she, $100 cash comes with this. And bad news is, Melissa, it's in the mail.
Thank you, everyone. I just do what needs to be done whenever it needs to be done, and that's what I'm here for.
Love you, Melissa.
Well, congratulations, and thank you very much for all your hard work and dedication to your chapter and to the state federation. Now, Terry, somebody had to be older than me. At least I want to think that anyway. So he actually is probably a few years younger, best I remember. I've been knowing Terry a long time on the serious side, and he's not too old yet. Okay, all right. That's a good idea. Mine too. We will get a door prize, and then we'll go to the to our next thing on the program, the scholarship award. But you want to give us a couple of door prizes?
Like unbuttoning the collar.
The first one is a $20 cash from the Nashville chapter, and it goes to Rosie Young.
Oh, look at that twice. She got it twice. Oh, my.
She deserves it.
Okay, the next thing is a 1.5 quart slow cooker.
That should be Miss Rosie.
And it goes to Mary West.
All right. Mary West.
One more, June. An electric can opener. And it goes to Geraldine Parker.
Yeah.
Did I even hear Geraldine?
All right then. To get the scholarship award, a fellow that many of you know, especially around Middle Tennessee, present to you Mr. John Harris.
Now, how do I follow June Mangum forth? But I've known him for, yes.
Since the dinosaurs ruled.
I didn't say that, June. She said that.
Oh.
But
Since Terry Smith was young?
yes. No. Good evening and welcome to, I have the honor of presenting the scholarship award winners. As I said this morning to some of you, is that it's an excitement to be and an honor to help with this process. But there's always a sad side because you get to read and applications, look at things that people are doing, and you get so excited about them because there's a lot of folks out there doing things, and we know that there's going to be a lot of things coming along, which means that the Federation will last for a long time because there are people like our scholarship winners that are going to be out there. Before I announce the winners, I wanted to thank, I haven't had a chance to meet her yet, but Rebecca, Leon did return this afternoon. I think she was at some of the meetings, and this is one, I guess, something tonight as well. And so we mentioned, Rebecca, this morning, how proud we were that to read your scholarship application, and you were a finalist. B, that you had sent us a letter stating that you would need to resign because you were going to not be able to go to college the next year to take care of your mom. And we hope that things are going well with your mom. And everybody, and I thought that was very commendable, and you to be congratulated for that, for taking, because mothers are precious. I lost mine in 1985, and it's like it's a long time ago, but there's not a day that goes by that you don't think of your mom. They're special people. And so we will look forward to you. Hopefully things will go well, and you'll get back in college and get going, and we'll have an opportunity to give you a scholarship award someday here as well. Our committee worked long and hard and looked at some things, and there's some things that, as I said this morning, that the committee needs to look at, and we're going to take a look at those. I was fortunate enough to be put back on the board this afternoon, and I thank you for that. And our job is to make sure we get everything in place with these with the scholarships. We're going to put some recommendations to the board if James, Mr. Brown, appoints the people that we think we can do. We got some things that's going to help and make this the scholarship thing even a better thing. The winners are, and what we decided to do after long thought, that we have winners will get $1,000. Oh, wow. And that is obviously Grace Swihart from the Stones River chapter in Middle Tennessee at Murfreesboro, MTSU. And I failed to mention this morning, too, that the uniqueness of our chapter. We're the only chapter in the state that actually is affiliated with the university. And we like it because it's a great thing for us, and we worked very hard to get that. But I must mention that Middle Tennessee State provided the student activity fee that students can apply for to get funds from each year. And they donated $1,400 for our chapter to attend this convention. And so those students, which means that they did a great job of writing that, and we hope that, the application of asking for that. And so, Grace, we thank you for your help with things like that. And so, and then our other winner also in the $1,000 category will get $1,000 each, and they're going to take us this Jasmine Rios. And we know that both of those outstanding ladies are going to do some great things. I've already heard some things just watching them at the convention this weekend. We're very proud of you all, and congratulations. And let's keep next year. As I said, we had 5 applicants this year, and 3 years ago when I took this back, we were trying our best to get up to 3, so we could give all 3 away. And we're now at 5, and we want to get everybody coming out. Let's give those scholarships away. That's what the money is for. We're going to put some guidelines in place because we want to set rules that allow the money to be given rather than trying to put roadblocks and stop people from getting the money. So that's our goal. And thank you very much. It's been an honor being here this weekend and listening to all of the things that's going on. And I look forward to working on the board the next year, and just thank you all. All right. And I didn't talk to Evelyn, so I guess Evelyn will get past the checks to give them each a check. Is that right?
Yes, Evelyn.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Right.
It's correct.
Good deal. All right. Good deal. And you didn't need my number to give party money like $1,000 each.
You're not getting any money, John. Give it up. Give it up.
Well, I want to congratulate you myself. That's a very important time, getting the scholarships and getting your education. And I want to just say hello to those of you at the MTSU, with the Stone River chapter, because that's my old stomping ground, too. I was up there back in the ancient days when they started the school, I guess it was. I don't know. But anyway, thanks for everything. It's been quite an honor and privilege to have had a chance to do this again today. I'm going to turn the program over to the president to continue with the MIC program and any other announcements or whatever we might have. Thanks again.
Good job, Nick.
It's kind of funny I was asked to do this. I thought, out of my 5 years of being president and out of going to a lot of different state conventions around the country, I've never been asked to do any kind of MIC fundraising. So membership individual contributions is one way that we help raise money in the Federation. And we're able to give scholarships to great individuals like you heard about tonight who have worked really hard to go to school, and we give money to them. We fund Bell programs so that kids can learn Braille and grow up and be literate and know how to read. We fight for the rights of blind people around the state. There's so many things that we do with the money that we raise. And so last year, on occasion, I give $1,000 a year. Sometimes I give $500. But I want you to know, no matter if you can give $10,000 or if you can $5,000, that's important. We don't put any more value on how much we give. It's just that you give. As you give from your heart, you give, from what you want to do for the community. So don't feel like, saying that you're going to give $10 or $50 is not a lot. So we're going to start the bids. You ready? All right. Who can give $1,000? Anybody? Anybody? I think I can do it.
I was going to say, can I put you down, Jay?
You can put me down. I'm down.
There you go.
Is anybody taking notes?
Evelyn is.
Okay.
All right. Anybody else for 1,000?
I can't let the president outdo me.
Oh, yay. Okay. Terry. He's matching me. Anybody else? $1,000. John in the $1,000 club. Woo, give John a hand. Anybody else want to join the $1,000 club? This will give you benefits. I will call and sing to you 3 nights a week if you join the $1,000 club.
Oh, my.
Sorry, I won't do it. Anybody else? $1,000 club. How about the $750 club? Anybody? $750. No? Yes? Going once? Going twice? Gone. All right. How about $500? Anybody who can give $500? Still pretty high, but it's not too high. I bet there's somebody who can give $500. I know Courtney just got a divorce, and he says he got all this money now.
Oh. Oh. Wow. Just threw him out there.
$500 club. Anybody join? Going once? Going twice? Oh, the $500 club is gone. Nobody joined. Okay. Now I'm going to open up on the floor. Who can give what? Just make a pledge. Ah, Courtney did join the 250 club. That's good. Who else? All right, Calvin at 100. Thank you, Calvin.
Pool.
Curtis Tillman, 100.
Christina, 200.
Ah, Christina, 200. Coming off them ducats.
Come on, Quinn Stones River. You can match that.
All right. You don't have to give a lot.
Just something.
Just something. And you don't have to give it today either. It's just a pledge. Give it for the year's up.
All right. Go with Ann.
Ann Smith, how much was that?
$100.
$100. Thank you, Ann. Yes. All right, Calvin. Thank you.
All right, go Calvin. Come on,
Thank
y'all.
you.
Come on, Memphis.
Oh, Russell.
All right, Russell.
Thank you,
Come
Russell.
on.
Come on, think about those little kids. How happy they're going to be once they know how to read. Think about the kids.
Maddie eating 100.
Maddie eats 100. All right. Did I hear another? Did I hear somebody else?
Eaton.
Eat on. Tara Tate. Thank you, Tara.
Tara.
Woo! We got a lot of 100 Club, folks. Ah, there we go. Another 100 Clubber.
All right. Nothing like peer pressure at that table, right? Emma.
HK 20. There we
All
go.
right, HK. Rosie Young.
How much, Rosie?
200.
Woo! I ought to give you 200 for those deviled eggs I ate last night. And those meatballs. Man, sakes alive. That's some good stuff. Who didn't go to the hospitality room? Your life's just not complete unless you went to the hospitality room last night. All right, come on now. Come on, y'all. We're not done yet. I know you.
Emma Robinson.
Emma Robinson, $100. Awesome.
Yes, I see. I got a couple back there. Yes. Yes.
Awesome. Doesn't take much. $20. Doesn't take much.
Go, Clover Nook.
All right. Yeah.
All right. Hey, I'm recruiting. Simonton. We're getting them from the non-members. That's a good thing.
I know.
Those are the ones we also gave.
All right. Any more? Anybody? Thank you, Gina. Jana Jackson. I know you, Jana. You're in my chapter. I was like, who is Gina Jackson? Thank you. Who else? All right, $103 from Stones River. Michael Wilson. So, Michael, was that from you or was that from the chapter? All right. Michael Wilson from the Stones River chapter. And you got 103. You just wanted to beat out like the other 10 people that did $100. All right, any more? Anybody else want to give? All right.
All right.
The couple.
Rexy and Yolanda Bradley, $20. Mm-hmm.
Don't laugh at me. All right. Going once. Anybody else want to give?
What's our...
All right, Deborah.
Carter, good deal. Now, where's the rest of the state? Oh.
Who was that, Quinn Howard? 2, boom.
Gentleman Quinn. All right.
Quinn Howard,
$200 crow. Quinn?
Where we at, Evelyn?
Yeah, what's our total?
Get out the calculator. Okay. All right, we need a few more. We need a few more. Uh-huh. 80 and 80? Okay, just 80. Okay. Don't confuse me. So we're going to multiply, we're going to divide. That's what we want to know. So Jimmy and Wendy are $80. Okay. Sweet.
Come on, Ever. That'd be never.
Somebody else has got to give so Evelyn won't feel so weird back there. Chris, Jimmy's dad, $100.
All right.
Thank you, Chris.
Woo.
All right, guys. We got one more?
Just
one more.
Come on, Craig. I know you can do it. I'll just call you out. It's not a voluntold, it's just a calling out. No, it ain't a voluntold this time. Come on, Memphis. There's a few of y'all left.
All right. Evelyn, you close? We're drowning. We need to be rescued. Felicia Whiteman? Alicia Whitehead. How much? $30.
Oh, I thought she said
Thank you, Alicia.
All right.
Alicia. Sorry. Sorry. I'm not going to say it. Oh, Michael. All right, $20 at National Convention. At $20 at National Convention, that's important. You need that. But Michael's giving it up.
Michael Osmond, $20 at convention. Yeah.
Right. She's almost there. I'm about to be able to sit down.
You're doing good, Mr. President. You're doing great.
Thank you, Keith.
All right.
So Keith has been working our sound all weekend, so we need to give him a hand. Yeah. Keith, Tim, every time somebody gives more money, Evelyn just has to do a little more adding back there.
What was it? What was it? Did she say 5,300?
You say 5,300? Yeah, we got to get up to 6. Yeah, Terry, we got to get up to 6,000. Think about those little babies. They're going to grow up and they're going to be strong, independent blind people. I think yes.
All right, go, Melissa. He's going to sing to you 3 days a week. Look at you.
At least Melissa loves me. Somebody loves me. Oh. All right, anybody else? I think we're at, what, like 6,323. Okay. Going once?
Come on, guys.
Going twice? Shep is going to give $5.
Aww.
Somebody heard not Shep, but something that rhymes. Bet you can't read Braille like me. Uh-huh.
Oh, very good.
She just had to beat me and Terry.
Yes.
And John. She outbid us. She said $105. I'm going to 1,200.
Oh, there we go. All right.
She outbid us. She said $1,005.
Yeah, he's serious. He said it.
Melissa. Does anybody else want to go up and match Mr. President Brown? Ooh, John went up to 12.
All right.
I know you can do it. You can. I'm not going to do all that stuff.
Terry Smith.
John said that's all Social Security. Let him give.
So I'm now in 4th place?
Yeah.
I went from 1st to 4th? Yeah. I'm tied for 1st again. Yeah, I have $1,200. Okay,
oh, very good.
Terry with 1,200.
And I'm done. My wife is not here. She doesn't know any of this.
All right, everybody. We love you. I'm going to pass it back over. Unless somebody wants to get one in. You want a total? I'm going to hand it back over to June, and we're going to work on a total back there. Thanks, everybody. Oh, wait. We got one more.
Donation.
Oh.
All right. Okay.
Oh. Thank you, Grace. All right, y'all. Anybody else?
All right. Can't let the youth
Students are killing some of y'all. 250, 250. And we just had a revival. I'm not drowning anymore. All right.
Can I get an amen?
Okay. Going once? Going twice? So we'll find out how much we made in just a few minutes. Here is June Mangum.
Good job. That's painful up there, though.
Thank you very much. Fine job there, Mr. President.
Oh, thank you.
Let's see. Some door prizes.
I need that $500.
I didn't think of more stories.
Oh, okay.
The whole blind babies.
Hey, June, is this the last thing on the program besides the?
We've done everything that we've done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Ooh, I forgot. Okay. I have a water bottle and a State Farm's, no.
Insurance policy.
No. A $10 gift card, Visa gift card donated by Carrie Smith. A knitted hat and scarf set. And it's going to somebody with a bald head. Ashley Thomason.
Oh, she's not.
She might. Lorraine Watkins.
Oh, she's not here.
I'm sure she's not here.
Where all these people at? Chris Pennington. Went to the bar. Maybe that's where we should have went and drew names. Hardin Allen.
No.
Okay, I'll try.
Everyone just needs to call somebody's name that is here.
Barbara Jones.
Who?
Anybody else want to get up and leave? This gives me a better chance to win the grand prize. Tyra Tate.
That's the second one.
Hey, it wasn't that much, Tom.
Tara's gonna have it regardless of what it is.
Okay, one more is a $25 gift card donated by Melissa Smith. It's for multi-restaurants. And some of the restaurants that it can be used at is Olive Garden, Longhorn, Bahama Breeze, where you can get your drink on, Seasons, Red Lobster, and Yard House. Never heard of that one. And it goes to James Broadnex. All right, June, you want me to give away this grand prize? Now or later?
Jimmy goes by Jimmy and not Jimmy.
I know.
Okay.
Or do you have something else?
Do y'all want to do the grand prize?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
All right, we will do the grand prize.
Come on, Miss Evelyn.
Hold on, we're going to give the total from the MIC contributions first.
Then we'll get the big drum roll so I can see if I'm going to win the grand prize.
Woo-wee. I hope I win this right here. The total from the MIC contribution. $7,516.
All right.
That's the amount of the MIC contributions. That's not the grand prize. So stop sweating. All right, the grand prize is going to be $100 cash.
Yeah, come on.
$100.
Bring it home.
And it's donated by the Memphis chapter.
Yes.
Go Memphis, go Grizzlies.
Great
Hey, let
grind.
somebody
Come
over
on,
there
let's
pull
have a
that
dig
so they
deep
won't
for
think
me.
so they won't think I'm And we're gonna let Craig McFarland pull it.
Oh.
Come on, Craig.
Come on, do me right, Craig. Do me right.
Oh, that look like my name over there.
Remember
Come
who
on,
you
Craig.
riding home with.
Who does it go to, Melissa? Brandy Woods.
She's not here. She's not here.
Hey,
Brandy Woods.
I'm just going to
well,
we're through. We're
she's
gonna wrap
not
it up.
here, so
Yeah,
well,
okay. Yeah, I'll wrap it up. I've got a cane just to find a home for. Somebody left their cane. Nice cane too. It's not one off.
Michael Wilson.
Oh! There's his $100 out of the 103.
So now you're just out of $3 there.
Yeah, you guys are $3 now.
All right.
Yes.
Fine job and fine program. It's been a good convention. So we got just in the morning, but this is it for now. Here's chapter president, Memphis chapter president, Christina Clift.
My feelings is hurt. My sister gets 500 and I get nothing. But I got the pleasure of everybody's company, so. Alrighty, so a few notes to wrap us up before we break and go to our separate ways. First of all, tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock in this room, we will be having a non-denominational prayer service for those who want to worship but are not at home. It's done by Corey Yates. He is the brother of our own Rexy Bowers from Victory Temple. I also do, and that's from 8 to 8:45. General session starts promptly at 9 o'clock. And I also have a cane. It looks like it's a custom cane shielded cane of either brown or red color. And it's about probably a 54-inch cane with a metal tip, Ambutech type. So if you are missing a cane, it was found downstairs here where the snack boxes were. So if you're missing a cane, it'll be under the podium, so come find us. Y'all have a great one. Is it?
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Darn. All right, good save there. All right, we'll have everybody have a great evening. Hospitality Suite will reopen, so the volunteers that are taking this evening shift, if you'll hustle on up there for us, we'd be greatly appreciated. Thank you, everybody. Have a good evening. In case you're hungry after. I cannot believe this. I am just going to tell her about her. Damn child just bought 20. She bought 5. Oh. June, good job.
Excuse me. Those that were scholarship winners, if you'll step back here and see me,
If you want your money.
you'll love me.